Hey everyone, I'm back again, this time to review my Beach Mini album. This one is also a Bo Bunny chipboard album that I purchased, much like the home album that I did. But basically what I did for this is I used the Sea Glass collection by K & Company to cover it. And all of the inking that I did throughout the album, I just used a white chalk ink. And I was really trying to capture a really rustic feel with this album. So throughout the whole album, you'll find that I use like twine and crackle paint and craft paper and just some things to give it a more rustic look. I added some charms to it. I actually used, I think this little attacher is from Tim Holtz. I'm not sure what they're called, but I know it's from Tim Holtz. And then these little charms here are Island Lagoon by the Paper Company. So I just attached those, and I used twine to bind the album instead of the rings, again to give it a more rustic effect. And basically the title of it is Beach, a few of my favorite things. So I talk about my favorite things at the beach. And throughout the album, you'll find coordinating chipboard pieces that come with, well, it didn't come with, but it was a box of sea glass chipboard pieces, so they coordinate with the paper. So I kind of used that throughout. And I also cut a lot of images myself, just from various papers, from the Under the Sea slice card. So I was really excited. I bought that card just for this project, so I used it all through the entire album. So this here is actually whitewash coordinations paper, and I cut this out with a slice. I added a little pearl. This was cut with a slice just on craft paper. This is a real sand dollar actually that I collected from the beach. This was a chipboard piece that I just tied with a little bit of twine, and this was a rub-on here. So that's the first page. Now the second page is all about the rugged coast. So here I just used a rub-on. This here is actually a crackle paint. It's a white crackle paint. I know that Tim Holtz has distressed crackle paint, but this one I actually found at Michael's. It's by Deco Art, and it's just like a texture crackle paint, and it was a lot cheaper. I got a huge tub of it for a lot cheaper than what the Tim Holtz was, so I was pretty happy with how it turned out. So these letters, the rugged coast, I cut with the slice, and I used the background to layer it. And this is actually a picture of Bucktouche. There's sand dunes up in Bucktouche in northeastern New Brunswick. So that's where this picture was taken. This one here is what's it called? Parley Beach in Shediac. That's what this is from. And by taking off the paper clip, you see I have more rugged coastlines. So again, Parley Beach. This is Cape Blomidon in Nova Scotia. This one's in Newfoundland, and this is the Ovens in Nova Scotia. So most of these pictures are all from the east coast of Canada. I'll put that on after. And basically I did this with coordinations paper, ran it through the Cuttlebug, and sanded the top to get that effect. Most of the inking of the pictures is done with peeled paint, Tim Holtz Distress ink. It's sort of like a greenish color. And this page, waves. So the waves is one of the things that I love about the beach. So I have some pictures of waves in Mexico. I use these dewdrops here because they kind of look like water droplets. Again, more chipboard from the Sea Glass collection. This is just whitewash coordinations paper that I did paper tearing with, and then I ran some stickles over it and kind of rubbed my hand over it to make it flat as opposed to puffy or textured. And then I just did some paper rolling to make it look like waves. And I'm all of a sudden devastated because I realized that there's a picture of me in a bikini that I'm posting on YouTube. Anyways, we'll move on. Oh no, there's another one. I can't get away from it. Anyways, this, much like my home album, I use the flattened toilet paper roll to get this little pocket thing here. And this one, it says Sailing, the Good Old Days. And I just use, this is a K & Company embellishment, use some ribbon, some chipboard, and so forth. And I cut this with the slice, so I did some letters over some ribbon, just used a little bit of smooch in the corner here. And this tag, let's see, it's hard to do it one-handed. This tag has pictures of boats on it because, as the lettering says, boats, one of my favorite things. And here I actually used some acrylic paint, and I just kind of made it, I guess, rustic looking, and kind of smoothed it over before I put the ribbon on, just to get a different effect. And on the back here I have some journaling about boats and why I like boats. And adventure is one of the things I love about the beach. So this is a picture of me horseback riding on the beach in the Dominican Republic, with a coconut in the Dominican, flying a kite on Lawrencetown Beach in Nova Scotia, and beach combing, Rainbow Haven Beach in Nova Scotia. And of course I cut out a kite. I was really excited to use that one in the slice card, and I decorated it with some stickles. Again, some more chipboard pieces, tied some ribbons down the side. Birds. I love birds. I'm a big bird fan. Backyard birding, whatever it might be. This picture, it's hard to tell, but it is actually pictures of bird tracks in the sand. And this bird here is a funny looking bird that we came across in the Dominican. This frame I cut out with the slice. Also cut out with the slice. Used another one of those little charms that I had from the front. This piece here is just a piece of Coordinations paper that I crumpled up, sanded it, and then inked around the edge. This is just a dollar store sticker, I think. This is some basic gray letters, and this is just a dollar store letter. It kind of looks like thicker. And this is just a piece of chipboard that I covered with paper from the Sea Glass collection. The sand between my toes, that's probably my all-time favorite thing about the beach. I was really happy that I had these chipboard flip-flops. I thought they worked perfect for this page. And you probably can't see very well, but in this picture it's my footprint sort of tracked down the beach, and this was taken in Jamaica. This is a piece of burlap here. These are my toes in the sand. That's at Rainbow Haven Beach in Nova Scotia. And this is a little shaker box. It's by Impression Obsession. It's a Shake It Shaker card, they call it. So I actually put some sand in it and some little shells from the beach in the Dominican. And then I just made a little frame using my slice to attach that. And I added some more dewdrops here. And this is, I thought this kind of looked like sea algae or something. This is just from, it's just an adornment. So it's kind of like textured fibers. And this page, I used a stencil, and then I glimmer misted to create this sand dollar on the background. These are just cut out with the slice. So nature's one of my favorite things about the beach. This I thought was kind of neat. I used some ribbon, and I had this kind of belt buckle type thing. Used some Velcro on one side so you could open it up. And this picture here is a starfish that was taken on the north coast of Nova Scotia by Pugwash. I just used, I think I used scissors for this, or maybe it was with a slice, I can't remember. Some chipboard, something I cut out with a slice, a rub-on. Again, I matted it with a piece of Coordinations paper that I crumpled and sanded. I kind of did that a lot through this album. These are just barnacles and seaweed. These were taken in Cole Harbour in Nova Scotia, very close to Halifax. And this is my last page. So this is actually a picture of a clamshell on the beach in Bouctouche, which again is northeastern New Brunswick. This is just a piece of corrugated cardboard. I think it's actually from like a Starbucks sleeve. This piece of coral was cut out using the Under the Sea card. chipboard, some letters. This is a little envelope that I just happened to have in my stash, and I covered the inside of it with this map. This map paper is from the Sea Glass collection, so that was kind of neat. And one of the things that I love about the beach is sunsets. So I got to use these little tiles that I used rub-ons on to get the word sets, and this I cut out with a slice. If you open it up, you'll see these are 2 pictures of sunsets taken at McCormick's Beach, which is in Eastern Passage, Nova Scotia. If you look closely, you can see the bridge in Halifax. And this is taken at Cavendish Beach in Prince Edward Island. And I did a little bit of some ribbons down the side here. And on the back of the album, my H is a little floppy there, is a sandcastle that I cut out with a slice, and I used some Tim Holtz Distress Embossing powder. I think it's in Vintage Photo is the color, and then I used some stickles on the top for the flag. So that is my album. I hope you enjoyed. Thanks.